Our cat is cleaning his butthole. Oh, no, he's cleaning in between his toes now.
That's funny.
Look at how I'm living. Just look at how I'm living.
What's up, everybody? This is Everything with the Guffies. I'm back. Sorry you guys missed me on episode 9. We thought this time we didn't have a guest, so me and Courtney would have fun with a little bit of just a random game thrown in there. Some of you may have heard it. Some of you may have not heard of it, but it is called
Never Have I Ever.
Never Have I Ever. Played it, I think, maybe once in high school.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play it again now with my business partner, my wife, and just...
I just feel like we have so many things to talk about, and I just want to take a lull and just have some fun with it, and just
some me and
have
you time?
Yeah, just have like a random podcast,
So
you know, because that's what we are about.
Can we call this a podcast date?
A podcast date.
Yeah. Are we like dating through a podcast right now?
Also, if you hear my laugh and it sounds like an old smoker laugh, it's because I had a wedding this past weekend.
Stop. You rip like at least a pack of Marlboros a day.
So not true.
Yes, you do.
No.
I know you like 100s. It's okay.
If you have worked with us and you are our client or friend or second photographer or employee of House of Couture, you know that we like to roast each other.
Yes, we do.
That's our love language. We like to roast each other. I have two cats staring at me.
Love language. I think that's just how we communicate the best. And I think when we don't roast each other, I think that's when the question comes like,
what is wrong?
Hey, are you like good? Are you okay?
Yeah.
And then you're like, yes, I'm fine. Then I'm like, yeah, she's not good. So.
Okay. So we're going to jump right into this.
Let's do it.
So never have I ever pranked someone.
Oh, I definitely have pranked someone.
I know.
I have definitely pranked someone. The best one is the one you want?
Yes.
Well, the best one currently right now.
I'm getting like butterflies in my stomach right now.
I am. I'm definitely. I will not speak of what I sent, but my mother was on our podcast recently, and I said that when she retired, I would definitely like have some fun just to keep her retirement like in the beginning, so she didn't get like bored right off the bat or anything like that. I definitely said I'd play some jokes, and so Courtney and I one night decided to send some random stuff to my mom, but we labeled it totally random. No return back like address or anything like that. And so far, I don't think my mother knows that it's Courtney and myself doing it. So, Mom, surprise.
Surprise.
Love you though. I do love you.
It's so funny.
Yeah, no, it was a good prank.
Yeah.
I wish I could go further into it, but it definitely it went down a path that we had some fun with.
Yeah.
It got interesting quickly.
Right now in this moment, she still has they still have no idea who.
Yes, and we've dropped hints.
Yeah.
I tried to be like, hey, like how's everything
going? How's it going? What's going on?
Yes,
and they still
nothing.
think that it's like a crazy neighbor.
Nothing. Have not heard a peep out of them yet. So I'm excited to definitely hear from my mom on that one. I think
so we're gonna
funny.
not tell her, and then if she doesn't listen to the podcast,
she'll never know.
She'll never know.
And then I'll be like, Mom, I blatantly admitted it.
Right here. This is your time right now to admit that.
Yeah, I did it.
It was us.
But yeah, I would say that's definitely my best prank so far. Mm-hmm. But no, I love playing pranks. I think
my prank was the best. Like being a parent, it's not the best. But when I was younger, I don't know what came over me. But when I was younger, I was like 7. I took my golden retriever dog and we went in my grandparents' basement and we hid. We were playing a classic game of hide and seek. And
But no one was seeking though, right?
No.
So it was just a game of Courtney hide with dog?
Basically.
Right on.
And my whole entire family thought I got kidnapped. This is not a joke either. And like my mom thought like somebody stole me and the dog, and we are at my grandparents' house. So like my mom said that she thought somebody took us and like threw us over like the Blanchette Bridge because she was that nervous that I got kidnapped.
Well, I could see that.
Yeah, looking back on that, I was like, oh my, I mean, I was obviously so young when this happened.
Yeah, in your mind, it was just a game.
It was totally a game, and I was in trouble for that. But pranking somebody, that was like the prank of the prank, and also the scariest prank for my family.
I could see that. Yeah. Being a father now, my heart is definitely like, I wouldn't.
I mean, the only pranks that I've only really done now that I think about it are like the ones that like you see on TikTok, and then I try to recreate them because I'm just not a natural like prankster. Like I can't sit here and think about, oh, that would be really funny to prank somebody. Like that's
that's definitely
that's not my brain. I don't have that.
If it's a prank coming from the Guffey household, it's definitely my brain and Courtney feeding into it.
I'm like,
we should do this.
Let's add this. Let's do that.
She is like, I'm the ember. She's like the gasoline that gets the fire really going.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next one.
Next question.
Some of these are just dumb. I might have to find another. Never have I ever wanted to be on a reality show.
I mean, I personally, I could totally live without being on a personal like reality show. I'm good with all that, but I think my wife, on the other hand, would love to have a reality show.
I love it. I only watch reality shows.
We watch a lot of them.
Yeah, I would love it. A day in my life of craziness.
Yep.
Running 3 businesses, being married, having a child. Yep. Dealing with everything that occurs.
Family, friends, dogs, animals.
I love it.
Everything. Yeah.
I love reality shows.
It would be a wild show.
It would be wild. It would be very unique.
Yes, it would.
I would love to be on a reality show.
I definitely feel like Netflix could twist our life and add a lot more drama than there really is.
Yeah. Hulu sponsors the Kardashians, so.
Yeah, I'm a Netflix guy though.
Yeah, no pun intended. Never have I ever fallen asleep during sex.
Nope. I have definitely not done that.
If you have to fall asleep during sex, why are you having sex? Like, just stop.
Yeah, go to bed. Start it up again in the morning.
Yeah. Never have I ever made up a story about someone who wasn't real. Have you made like this?
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, absolutely. I had imaginary friends out the door. Absolutely. There for a little while, like when we moved to Dardine Prairie, when my mom and my father moved to Dardine Prairie from St. Peter's, I didn't have like a whole lot of friends when we moved into the neighborhood. So best believe I had some outrageous mindset. And I'm sure my family can contest with all this crazy, just psycho stories that I was able to concoct for sure. Surprise some of my friends too.
Yeah, for sure. It's insane. Some of these are just like, never have I ever traveled to Europe. No. Do I want to? Yeah, I want to go to Italy. That's about like the main thing. I want to go to Italy so bad. Oh my gosh. Never have I ever binged an entire series in one day.
Yeah, we definitely have done that.
I'm asking about you.
Yes, I've definitely done that. I do it all the time while editing.
I know. He has watched how many times have you watched Stranger Things now while editing?
At least 5. Outer Banks 7 or 8.
Why?
Trailer Park Boys.
Like it's
good white noise. It makes me laugh.
It's literally
and then there's
the
like drama
stuff
in it, and then like I can click in for a second, and
you're fair.
It keeps my head like I know what's coming in the series since I've already watched it. So like I just like hearing the white noise, but then there's other parts that I'll really focus in on and be like, I did not even realize that it was filmed that way.
Yeah. I'm skipping. You're gonna have to pause this because I need to find a better form.
Okay. Skip. No, I think I'm going to listen to the Harry Potter books, though, while I'm editing.
Never have I ever Googled myself.
Have you?
I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've Googled myself quite a few times.
Yeah, and he has YouTube videos, too, from when he was, like, 19. Of drifting cars.
Yeah. Drifting. Doing that on YouTube. Yeah, my buddy Sean posted those for us, and I'm very grateful that he did because it's really cool to go back and show. I actually just sent some to our neighbor. Yeah, because our neighbors' kids are like super getting into cars and stuff like that. And so they've seen some of the cars that we've owned. And then their dad also owns a really cool car as well. And so I sent them some videos and they watched it on their ginormous TV in their living room. So it was cool to have those videos to send. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
They were both the kids were very worried and thought that it would be bad if I crashed.
Oh. So. Never have I ever seen a ghost. I don't know if we've talked about this before.
No, I don't think I've had some pretty eerie situations.
Yeah.
Explain. But I don't think I've ever
it's almost spooky season.
I don't think I've ever physically seen a ghost. But I don't know, growing up, our friends and I we would go out and we would just go adventure and do stuff and mess around and stuff like that. But it was I think it was more of folklore of our friends scaring each other or amping it up so much. But we would play this game when we were younger where we would see a car and we would run. And like
What?
now I look back on it, yeah.
Like in front of the car?
No. Like we would
Oh.
just run from the car. Like we would all be like sitting somewhere like on the sidewalk or something, and all
Oh,
of
like
us
in the
would,
neighborhood or something?
yeah, and all of
That's
us would
cool.
just like disappear out of nowhere.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, one time I guess it might have got misconstrued.
Oh, looks like you were robbing or something.
Well, no, I think that person had gotten robbed,
Mm.
and we honestly were just out being kids. Like we were not doing anything like that at all. Like
You
writing
were
in
just
on the
being a
Bible.
kid.
We were so young, like we didn't even really know what that like doing that would like do. And this person was out looking for, I guess, somebody that had either one robbed them or caused a bad situation with them, and it was a group of kids that did it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we fit that MO perfectly, and so I bet there was like between 5 and 7 of us. And sure enough, it was just like one of those things where we got like super worked up. This person was chasing us. We were all hiding, and then we all just decided to split up. And we literally just, everyone ran in different directions. And I would say that was probably the like scariest moment. And I don't know if the person ever got a hold of somebody, but we ended up hearing through like the grapevine in the neighborhood that I think something happened to them or something like that happened to them. And I now know that they know that like we had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely one of those like heart pounding moments because it was like up and down every
Right.
street. Like everyone was on like high alert.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, some funny things happened during that.
When I was younger, we would go to Molly's grave.
Yeah.
And that was off like Defiance, and I can't remember like the road that, I mean, I could take you there probably today. Like I would just have to like have a
We should
refresher.
definitely. I don't even know if her grave is actually still there anymore
No,
because of
That's
all the bad stuff.
We would go to the house. So like you'd go down this road, and there was like
Oh.
this old creepy house next, like a couple feet away from like the tree with her grave, and people would go in the house. And the most I've ever been in that house was like the front door, and like I think there was like a kitchen or something.
Oh yeah.
But one time I was like 18 the last time I went, and I was in the car with my ex, and my friend was with me. She was in the back, and I think I had another friend with me in the back, and we were just bored because that's what we would do in St. Charles County. Like we would go to the mall, we would go, wherever. And
You're just a kid exploring.
we were
and just
bored. Like
pushing
Missouri,
that
there's like
boundary.
not a
Right.
million things to do in Missouri, and like
Well, there is, but as a kid,
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
you kind of like I guess fall into like that immediate. If your friend says that there's nothing to do, there's just like nothing to do.
So we were sitting in the car, and we stopped, and all of a sudden my ex turned off the lights, and I totally thought that his car like broke down, and I go, oh my gosh. And he was like totally feeding into it, and Danielle had no idea that he was joking, and I was like, oh my God, we are experiencing some haunted shit right now.
Yeah.
And like I started like having like a full on like panic attack because I was like, oh my God, like we're in the middle of the woods, like we have no reception where we're at. And that was the last time I went, because I was like, God forbid that happens,
Right.
and some crazy shit like that happens. Like
Yeah. See, I don't.
Yeah.
You know me. I don't mess around with that kind of stuff.
I don't.
Like
Yeah.
that's just not my jam. I
No.
did a little bit when I was younger. Had a weird kind of experience walking down that path, and I don't mess with that kind of stuff.
Some crazy.
There's good and bad in this world.
Yeah.
And I'm not
We
going to
don't-
tempt the bad. That's for sure.
Yeah, we do not allow that in our life. Never have I ever slept walk. Have you ever slept?
Absolutely.
Really?
My parents found me outside.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I used to sleepwalk like crazy. Like absolutely crazy.
Like outside?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, ask mom about that. I used to sleepwalk real bad.
The only time I've like really slept walk was when I was younger. Like I'm sure girls can relate to this. When I was in high school, I thought my alarm went off at like midnight, and it didn't. Like it was in my head that I thought the
Yeah,
alarm went
but
off,
that's not
and like
sleepwalking.
no, I fully got up and I ran to, because I would shower in my parents' bedroom because they had like a bigger shower. So I would go to their shower, and my mom's like, "What are you doing? It's midnight." And I did that a couple times, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
but
but that's
that's- I mean,
not sleepwalking.
I
That's
don't
just
really-
forgetting.
I don't really have
perception
any of
of
that.
time.
Yeah, I never slept walk or
No, like
anything crazy
sleepwalking.
like
Like
that.
I'm talking about, like my dad woke me up and I didn't know where I was, like at all.
Never have I ever played spin the bottle.
Ooh, spin the bottle. Actually, I think I have.
I don't think I've ever played
A
that game.
long time ago. It was like Fairmount days when I played it, though. It was a long time ago.
Never have I ever been fired. Have you ever been fired from a job?
No, I never have.
Damn. Well, you're fired.
No, I mean, probably gotten close a couple times.
I have. And it was,
Depending on who watches this, I bet I've gotten close a couple times.
yeah, I'm probably not.
I know a few jobs that I had to go. Some people definitely didn't like me, but
That's okay.
it happens. I was definitely in a different place in my life than I am now.
I got a job at this orthodontist office, and I told him what I wanted to get paid, and he agreed to it. I got hired on like right before summer started, and the shit he had people do like in his office was like so tedious, and I was like, oh my God, get over yourself. But he made me work like the lab, and then in like the records room, and then like on some patients, but like I was more like a floater like in the office, and like I was getting paid like okay at that time, but I wouldn't expect anything else. Like I said, this is what I want for me to quit my current job.
Yeah.
So I worked. Well, one day I came into the office, and like one thing about the dental field, and I freaking hate and don't miss, is there's so much drama. Like everybody has like a pissing contest, like who can like basically like be the best person for the dentist.
Yeah, I feel like that's anywhere though.
And that's why I hate corporate. Like, and that's why I just cannot. I mean, I just don't understand.
Everyone's trying to impress the guy that's signing your paycheck.
It's so annoying. Like, just be yourself, do your job, and go home. Like, you don't have to start drama,
right?
Whatever. But there's so much drama in this stupid office. There's a lot of offices that I worked at. But anyways, I sat down at the computer. I was getting ready, and my boss at the time came up to me, and he goes, "Hey, Courtney, I just want to let you know that I have to let you go." And I just like was like, is he actually like saying this to me? Like, am I in a dream? Like, what? And I kind of turned, and I was like, well, why? And he was like, I just have to let you go. And I was like, okay. And I know in Missouri, you don't have to have like a reason to fire somebody.
Correct.
And this coward literally didn't tell me why I got fired. But I know for a fact it was probably because drama in the office, and probably because I was getting paid decent. And I think I was getting paid, and he just probably couldn't afford me. But it was like, instead of being like a grown ass man who should have just said, hey, I'm firing you because XYZ, he just decided to not tell me.
Yep.
And
that's his call.
Here's the thing. If you have employees or you have people that work for you, if you are going to let them go, not only give them warnings, but tell them why you're firing them so they can be better. Period. So yes, I'm so salty.
Yeah,
Rant over. But I'm just like, I don't understand why people just fire people. Like, be like, hey, I can't afford you. Or, hey, like, this isn't working out. I'm making a smaller team. Or, you know, you're a shit starter.
Yeah, some people don't want to think into it that far. You know, it is what it is.
But
never have I ever dined and dashed.
You know, no, I have not. Have I came close to it? Yeah, but then I know the law would have been right behind me.
Yeah, and well, I also think that's also like you being in the service industry and understanding.
I just, at the end of the day, people have bad days. People have shitty days. People have just personal days that they take all their personal life to their workplace. And I just truly believe that maybe they're just having a bad day. And at the end of the day, it's not their business. It's the person that owns that establishment's business.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just be hurting that employee. I'd be hurting the owner. Now, will I call and ask to speak to a manager? Yes, if it's extremely bad, but rarely do I ever read reviews, because I just feel like reviews are just he said, she said. And I also don't write reviews because me and you have had this conversation, and you know, it just does. Reviews don't need to be had unless it's a good review.
Yep. Never have I ever laughed so hard I spit out a drink or peed while laughing.
I mean, I definitely have spit out my drink. I came close to peeing my pants. But yeah, so random.
Yeah. It's really hard to do with, you know, your spouse that you're with every day.
Yeah, because you already know the answer.
I know like 90% of these answers. Okay. Never have I ever screamed during a scary movie in a movie theater.
I mean, I jump. I'm a jumper. You know that,
right?
Like if something comes out,
like, have you ever screamed out like in the movie theater, like because of like sheer like that surprised you so much?
No, because I'm a jumper. Like if something pops up, I like jump and like hide.
I do know that.
Like I don't like like I don't do that.
Oh, here's a good one. Never have I ever used someone else's toothbrush.
Oh my gosh, I've used yours many times on accident. Happens when we travel though.
Okay.
If we have our toothbrushes together and we had we have the quips or however you pronounce it, and we made the mistake multiple times by buying the same colors.
Those were probably swapped on accident.
And usually it happens when we are on vacation or traveling for work. That's usually how it goes. What do you think is the scariest movie that you've ever seen?
Scariest movie?
I know my answer.
Now
Now that we're getting to spooky season.
I still think, like, till this day, like, The First Exorcist is definitely in my, like,
yeah,
telebook, like, number one. That rocked my world. But I also watched that movie really early in life.
Yeah.
And, like, did not understand, like, what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just a scary movie, not, like, understanding, like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a thing.
Right.
And it was just like, oh, like, this thing happened in St. Louis. Like, I really want to watch this.
I don't know if it fully happened in St. Louis.
Nope, it did.
The Emily Rose one?
Yep. That happened
We'll
in
have to
St.
look that
Louis.
up. I think it
happened, happened in a hotel in downtown.
Really? Yep. Interesting. Yeah, we don't
That
watch
floor
those
is
type
no
of
longer
movies because
used.
we don't want the energy in our house. And
Yeah.
that's like the one thing having a daughter too. Like if she comes home and she's 14 and she's like, oh, I bought the Ouija board with my friends or something like that. I'm like, okay, you're going to take that shit right on back through that door and you are not playing that in our house. Because I have friends who have experienced weird stuff and I just don't want to associate with that energy. So I think Sinister. Do you remember that movie where that like, I don't know what it is, like comes out of the water?
Oh, yes.
Like that face haunted me for so long.
Yeah.
Like it was just like one of those like freaky things that like scared the absolute shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Sinister, no.
Yeah, that was definitely a scary one.
Never have I ever faked liking somebody's cooking.
Yeah, all the time. I feel like it's like twice a week. You're like, this is so good. And then I'll look over and you'll have like 3 bites and you'll say you're full. But then about 9:45 comes rolling along and you're like walking to the couch with like bags of stuff in your hands. Like,
Bags. I really think it's popcorn.
She definitely did not like dinner.
Yeah. You've made like 2 things in our relationship that just has too much spice or something.
I love it.
But in all grand reality, you are a pretty good cook.
Thanks.
I don't cook at all. I like to
definitely a
clean.
mash cook, though.
You're what?
A mash cook.
Yeah, he just puts shit together, which sometimes that's what people say, how it goes, but you just have a lot of seasonings, and sometimes you put a lot of onion powder on stuff. You love your onion powder.
It's good. Onion's very good for you.
What? Never have I ever woken up to do the homework in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, definitely have done that.
Like, did you just forget you had
yeah,
homework?
It was actually, no, yes, but I was working on a car, totally like put that priority first. I was trying to do something. I forgot what it was. I think I was putting like $100 bills on the hood of my car. And I was so excited about it because I had such a cool idea in my head and it worked. But then like the back process of like what now people would epoxy or wrap, I actually like mixed Elmer's glue and water together.
Oh my
and that's
gosh.
how I made a clear coat to hold all this down. It worked like perfectly. Like it was crazy how good it looked for like how I did it. But I did all of that. And then I want to say it was a social studies class. I was supposed to do something and it was like literally like right at the end of the year. And it was like our big paper. And I think I was supposed to write something about Lincoln. And I totally copied and pasted something off the internet. Like it's bad, like plagiarized like to the max. And totally got in-school suspension for it. And that, like, I literally woke up at, like, 11:45 at night and was like, I got to go down to the computer. Because that was when we still had desktops in our house, not laptops. And I, like, legitimately just copied and pasted and was like, sweet, I can go back to bed.
Yeah, Dylan, what kind of kid were you in high school?
I don't know.
Like, what would your teachers, like, say that you are?
I was quiet and good. I mean, I always, like, did everything they asked.
You weren't a troublemaker?
Oh, no. Not in high school. Not at all. No, I definitely was not a troublemaker in high school. Mm-mm.
I was the girl that wanted to get along with everybody, so I made friends with everyone.
Yeah, I definitely could say I made friends with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I never tried to have enemies in high
My
school.
junior
but I also
year
like,
was horrible.
I didn't play sports.
Oh
I
my
didn't do
gosh.
any of that. Like I didn't do band. I didn't do any school activities. It was always BMX. BMX turned into cars, and then cars turned into going to college for cars with my buddies that also did cars. So it was just like that's all we did. And I think that's kind of what I was known for in school was like
the car
being a
dude.
generic car dude.
Yeah.
That always had like haggard looking cars.
Yeah, my freshman and sophomore year, I was totally fine. And then I cheered. And then junior year was like my trouble year. Like I just was on my phone all the time. So I got like in school suspension for that. And then one time, you know this story, but one time I was in, sorry if you hear our cats right now, they're talking to each other. But one time I was in my Spanish class and this guy was just a total a-hole. And he said something really he called me, see you next Tuesday. And I told my Spanish teacher and he was so delusional, which he actually got fired because from the grapevine, I heard he was like not a good teacher. He did some bad things. But I was like, Mr. blah, blah, blah. I was like, somebody's saying your name in the hallway. And this teacher literally got up and went in the hallway because he was like, oh, somebody's calling my name. And I literally stood on my desk and like chucked my perfume bottle at this dude. And then texted my friend and I was like, you'll never believe what this dude called me. And like, he basically like whooped his ass. And then I got in school suspension. And my mom, being the awesome mom that she was like, well, why is my daughter getting in all this trouble, but the boy is not getting in any trouble? This just shows you how screwed up like school systems are.
Yeah.
And thank God for my mom doing that because the kid ended up getting in school suspension. And again, my mom was so awesome. I go, I'm not going to in school suspension because it was so dumb. Like it was so boring. Like you had to sit in the room and like the teacher just like stared at you all day and like you just had to do homework. And so half the time I was just coloring pictures. So I told my mom, I said, I'm not going back to school unless I get out of school. So like, peace out. I got out of school suspension for a week and I got to sleep in, do my homework. And then I returned the following week. It was like vacation.
The beginning of you working for yourself.
Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge like movement in like women's rights and everything. And it was just, thank God for my mom for sticking up because it's just so sad to see the school system because they took it as, oh, this girl has had in school suspension because of her phone and like blah, blah, blah. Because that's when texting got really big, was back in 09 and 08, etc.
Well, we were starting to enter into like phones.
T9, baby.
No,
T9.
Phones with keyboards were starting to come out.
I had like
but I still had a Razor back then.
Yeah, I didn't get a Razor. My parents had a Razor. I had like it was like a Samsung like pink phone and it had like the numbers. Like they were little, it's like a little tiny keyboard. It wasn't the phone that like, what's the one that like flipped up?
Well, there was two. The Sidekick would have been.
The Sidekick. How do you remember these names?
Oh, dude, I wanted a Sidekick so
I wanted
bad.
I wanted an iPhone when it came out.
My buddy had one. His parents got him, and I was like the most jealous kid on the planet. And then the Rumor came out.
The Rumor. I don't think I remember that one.
So the Rumor like slid up to be able to type this way, slid it down, and then it slid sideways as well with it. And I had one of those.
Oh my gosh.
I think I had two of those. I had a blue one and a green one.
Yeah, I wanted an iPhone. And when you were like the rich kid, if you had the iPhone.
Yeah, when
remember
iPhone
that
first came out. Oh
yeah, I was so jealous. I had an iPad.
Yeah, I'm not even.
And
I'm
an
not
iPod.
Even,
could you like, text from iPods back then? I feel like you could.
You could, but it was like a really like hard because like.
I feel like I was texting on my iPod back in the day.
because it was like right when Wi-Fi was starting to become like a thing.
Yeah.
Like for the common public.
So just so everybody knows, Dylan and I are both 30. I graduated and he graduated class of 2011 from high school.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're really starting to show our age
What's
because
that?
now we have a
I
whole
love
bunch of what.
Favorite fast food.
I think I know the answer.
I'm like a big Taco Bell guy. I love Taco Bell.
I was just about to say Taco Bell is your go-to.
Boy, this new app thing has got those workers on a different type of aggravated when you go in there. I worked in the fast food industry for a very long time, much longer than anyone should ever have to. If that's not like the career you want to take, which I'm not going to judge you for that, but I just had a bad experience and it put a salty taste in my mouth with Taco Bell. And like still like we usually get it after every wedding because that's like our like thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste the same anymore after that experience. I'm really upset, but as surprising as it sounds to you, my favorite is definitely Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I would say I have to agree with you saying that because every time I'm like, you're like Dairy Queen and I'm like, I don't really want ice cream.
Dairy Queen has like, in my opinion, next to Burger King, one of the best charbroiled burgers. It actually tastes like a decently charbroiled burger. Their buns are always good. It's never over sauced. Like everything is really like decent there. I feel like the care and like proper like build of their sandwiches is still pretty good. But their fries are also, they like hit the point because it's like a mixture of everything.
I love McDonald's. I'm a McDonald's snob. Like, and I get basically the same thing every time I go.
Yep.
Double cheeseburger, medium fry, Coke.
Yep.
Good to go.
Yep.
I've mixed it up a few times with chicken nuggets, but like
She
something
always
about
regrets it.
something about a double cheeseburger,
Unless
and
it's
it's
the morning time and you
so
get their
unhealthy
burritos.
for you. Like McDonald's is so bad for you. Just something about a double cheeseburger, medium fry,
Sometimes
Coke.
fast food just hits different.
And then Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Because I can order multiple things. Nacho Bel Grande, Crunchwrap Supreme, 5-layer. Usually my go-to with Taco Bell is 5-layer burrito, and I has to have sour cream.
Yep. Like
And then the cheesy gordita crunch.
14 pounds of sour cream.
Yeah, if Taco Bell does not have sour cream, I cannot eat it.
Yep.
It tastes horrible.
Yep.
The
Because
dog meat.
you literally just gave me a taco the other night because it didn't have sour cream on it.
Disgusting.
Oh, that's pretty good.
What's my favorite restaurant?
Your favorite
Mhm.
restaurant? Ooh, that's tough. I would say it's a hard like mix between Katie's Pasta has been definitely in your
Pizza and pasta, Dylan?
yeah, pizza and pasta is definitely within your top 3. I know you really like Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would be a third one for you?
Okay, we're doing number 3.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It's easy. It's local.
Well, I mean, you really like Stefanino's though.
I do. That's local,
That's like pizza style stuff though.
but it's my favorite because it's close,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I would say like Mission Taco or like a Mexican restaurant. I love the old, like the more and more.
Oh, if we're gonna say Mexican restaurant, then our favorite restaurant is Las Margaritas.
Yeah, if you guys have not had Las Margaritas,
Quick, I would say like quick style. Like if like you're just going
so
in,
good.
want a quick marg or something like that. El Agave, like right here by the house,
Mhm.
great. Like
Yeah.
we know the owner of El Agave. He's super cool.
Yeah,
He always supports us when he comes in. Like he's very nice. He's
Yeah.
always
he's
there,
always there,
and he's so nice.
and his
every time he
servers
sees
are
us.
so on top of it.
Yeah,
like-
they're very, very good at what they do.
Yeah.
But if like we're closer to like more like where we grew up, Las Margaritas all day.
Your favorite restaurants?
Yeah, go ahead.
Napoli is definitely. I'm gonna go back just a little bit. Napoli. If you guys have not had like Cafe Napoli, Napoli 2, Napoli 3, so good.
Yeah, get in there. Like just
So
just
good.
go for it.
Like the service is exponential. The service is so good, and I just
You not only
Yeah.
get like food wise what you pay for,
you
but
get what you pay for.
you get your service, like everything is on top of it. Your water never goes empty. Your drinks never
Mhm.
go empty. Your food is always cooked exactly how you want it,
Yeah.
not how they think that you want it.
Yeah.
So if you ask for something very specific, they always bend the rules for you. Like I cannot say enough about Napoli.
And I would rather like pay $200 for like a nice meal than pay like $100 at a restaurant that I'm gonna get okay food and shit service.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like nowadays, that's like for a family of 4, that's pretty average. It's about
Yeah,
$100.
and I feel like local, like if you're in Wentzville, like we always go to Cyberg's because they have. I think their pizza is amazing.
Yeah.
They have such good pizza, which is also local because we owning businesses. Supporting local restaurants are really
Mhm.
big for us unless we're like in a hurry on the go. Then obviously like Cane's, Chick-fil-A, stuff like that. That's where we go.
Her Chick-fil-A, not me.
Yeah. But Cyberg, Stefanina's, where else do we go to? We don't really.
We do a lot of crazy bowls.
Yeah, we do. And that is local.
Mm-hmm.
That is local, guys.
The one that we
Fun
really
fact.
like that is like super chainy that we've like slowly started to like really adapt to is Jersey Mike's.
That's like a lunch place.
You were like super negative on that, and then I was like,
I'm
"Yo,
just
just go
not-
in and try it." And
Yeah.
now she's about it, but it's also because they have wraps.
Yeah, I am not a big like bread person. I can
Yeah.
live. You take bread out of my diet. It's good. I'll eat it. If it's in
Right.
front of me, I'll eat it.
Right.
But if you take bread out of my diet for the rest of my life, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can live off wraps. You got me
It would
hooked
be
on
tough.
wraps. Okay, so your favorite food places?
Mhm.
We're gonna talk restaurants.
'Kay.
So, this is gonna be tough because restaurants might be different than what I'm envisioning.
'Kay.
I would say Napoli 3. I definitely think that's one of your like all-time favorites, just because you like certain things.
Yeah.
But you are also not the person to like dress up and wear like you would be fine with wearing Dickies every day
Yeah,
of your life.
I do not like dressing up. Like
Dylan has always
even a little
said
bit.
like, hey, if we ever like in the future make millions of dollars, whatever, manifest, but he's like, I'm still gonna wear Dickies.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Might wear fancy Dickies, but that's what I'd wear.
But I really think you like Donatelli's. I really have heard you say good things. You really like their spaghetti and meatballs.
I do.
And then, I feel like our go-to that you always hype up is Crazy Bowls.
Yeah, I mean, I say that because you like it the most, really.
But I mean,
That's like
I
a good
really
shared place.
like. You don't really have a favorite restaurant,
No,
other
I like
than
all
Napoli.
food. It's bad.
So like, what
That's
is
why
your?
I can't lose weight.
Yeah, same. What is your favorite restaurant? In all reality, what is your favorite restaurant? If I was like, we're gonna go on your birthday,
Like in town,
anywhere,
anywhere.
it could be.
That place that we went to in Scottsdale was unbelievable. That was some of the best food I've ever had in my
Allie
life.
sent it to me. It was Olive, and something. It was really that place was really
that
good.
place. That literally was the first time I sat
Olive
down.
and Ivy or something.
I think
Ivy.
so.
Let me look that up.
Something like that.
For my Scottsdale people.
But that was the first time I sat down at a restaurant, and like it really wasn't like an overly bougie place. But we sat down, we were having a great day. Like everything just led up to, okay, this meal is either gonna make or break like this whole like moment. And every course that we got that night was like utterly unbelievable.
Yeah, it was
like, it
so
was
good.
so good. I had steak melt in my mouth on my tongue. Some of the best broccoli I've ever
Found
had in
it.
my life.
It's Olive and Ivy.
Olive and Ivy.
Yeah.
Their drinks were not overpowering. Everything was very like paired very well with what I
It's
had.
a French Riviera in Scottsdale. That's what it's saying.
But that restaurant will
oh my
forever
gosh, you have an
hold.
espresso martini.
Yeah.
I'm down
Yeah.
for. But like, I am a type of person, and I know a lot of girls are like this. It has to have a vibe.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing about Scottsdale that I loved is every place, like coffee place.
Right.
Like right when we got off the plane, that was one of my favorite memories. Like
Yep.
we got off the plane, we went to that cute, because we had like a couple hours before we could check into the Airbnb. And we went to this really cute, like bohemian. It reminded me of like something that you see in the Hamptons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like my favorite.
Open rafters.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
Like
chill.
all white. It was very
Everyone
like nautical.
was just hanging out, like
Yeah.
being super mellow in there. You know, they watched us walking with suitcase and nobody even minded.
Yeah.
Like, not a single soul minded.
I just have a hard time like restaurants. If I'm gonna have like a nice night,
Yeah.
there has to be a vibe.
Yeah. And that's where I would say currently right now, Napoli Sea going
Oh
there
my
with our
gosh.
friends.
Such a vibe.
With the Youngs. They definitely like brought us like, hey, like you guys need to check this out. Like
Yeah.
they showed us some of the pictures like while they were kind of in the middle of it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know the owner of Napoli a little bit better than we do.
Yeah.
And when we went to see like that tuna was the best tuna I've had in years. It was incredible. And the fact that they brought every sauce out for us because we wanted to try it all.
Oh my God, it was so
Everything
good.
was like prepared like right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Our drinks were there. Like we did a banana puree, I think is what that's
No,
called.
it's Banana Foster.
Yeah,
and I
Banana
literally
Foster.
like when we started talking about Napoli, that's literally what my mind went to, was that Banana Foster that you and Alex had.
that banana Foster like definitely blew the Olive and Ivy's dessert away.
Yeah.
But that would be in town if like somebody was like, hey, where's a good restaurant to go to where like I'm not gonna drop a $1,000,
My
but I'm gonna
God.
have like a super.
If I'm gonna
good
drop
night.
$1,000, I'm going to a resort. Sorry.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like if like I was like to tell somebody that is like common people that just want to have a good night and like be able to go somewhere and then do something after, whether it's the Funny Bone down there, go for like a walk if it's a nice night. On
I
Main
love the
Street.
streets of St. Charles, but the problem is it's getting too populated,
Napoli
with all the
is
stuff.
Just, they've just got it.
which is smart for them because they have all the people. I feel like
Yeah.
every time on streets of St. Charles has just grown so much, and with all the apartments that they're putting in, even more, it's just growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, like
I wish Winsville would have put one of those, like they were
I
mentioning.
agree.
It sucks. Well, Dylan, this was fun. Our
Yeah,
little
a little
date
different.
talking about just random stuff
Yeah.
that we know, but our viewers and listeners don't know.
Date podcast.
Yeah, look at that.
It was fun.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming to our TED
It
Talk.
might be like every once in a while, like we'll do a date
Just
podcast,
random.
make it a little series.
I think the next one we're going to do is talk about Mid-Rivers Mall and just having nostalgia and talking about like,
I'm so down for
that
that.
will be so fun.
Because one of the scariest moments of my life happened there.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for listening to episode 10.
Episode 10.
Deuces.
Peace, guys.